When I attended Lehigh, there were many times when I was turned away from various registered social events on campus, but my white colleagues were accepted and with no issue. One time, I even overheard a person call me Aunt Jemima as I walked away. I dated a white person on campus, and there were countless times that we were referred to as the swirl by white students on campus. Also, while I was on campus, multiple times the Umoja House was vandalized with racial slurs. My freshman year at Lehigh, I had so many friends of color, but the environment and culture there was so traumatic for many of my friends. I know, because this was a topic of many of our discussions, that most of my friends of color had transferred to other colleges that were more accepting of Black people. I struggled greatly with the culture at Lehigh. Many times I had been accused by white students as only being accepted to Lehigh because of affirmative action. Little did they know that I had graduated second in my high school class with a great SAT scores and many extracurriculars. I just felt like I was always trying to prove my worth and value to people while I was at Lehigh, and that my identity as a Black female was not the sole reason for me getting to where I was. Of course, being a Black female helped me see the world in a different lens, but it just felt like no one could see that I actually earned my way into Lehigh. There was just so much ignorance that occurred on campus as well. I remember one particular instance where a white colleague walked up to me and asked me if I knew another specific Black girl on campus. Side note, I knew she was only asking me because I was the only other Black person she knew on campus. I did actually know who my white colleague was referring to because we shared a class together. The white colleague then asked me, why does she wear that scarf on her head? I couldn't believe that question was being asked of me at the time, but I responded and told her it was because she was Muslim. The white colleague then proceeded to say, but she's Black. It took everything in my power to not get angry with her for that comment. Luckily, as she made that comment, another white colleague stepped into the conversation and educated the white individual that there is a difference between race and religion, and her comment was extremely close-minded. After she corrected the ignorant white colleague, the white colleague that intervened came to me and apologized that I had to deal with such a level of ignorance. That moment will always stick in my memories of how supported I felt by that student intervening. Overall, my time at Lehigh was just so traumatic as a Black female, but that one moment gave me hope for humanity and my ability to actually live in an environment where white people finally get what it is like to be a person of color in this world and fight the bigotry that exists out there. There are so many other examples I could provide you of the racial trauma that I experienced at Lehigh, but I think this is enough for now.
After years of learning a language at Lehigh, it hurts to still be told, you sound pretty good for a white boy.
Being asked to read someone's fortune cookies to them.
A friend said to my sister one day, "You're really pretty for being an Asian."
I was sitting in the open area of a hallway when I noticed a little girl, about 5 years old, I'm assuming, walking towards my direction with two adults, one female and one male, who I assumed were her parents. The little girl pointed at me and said, "Daddy, she's Black." I smiled at the little girl. The dad, whom I recognized as an instructor, picked up his daughter and then put one of his hands on the little girl's eyes, covering her eyes entirely. They then passed by me and entered a room further away from the hallway. About 15 to 20 minutes later, they came out. The daughter was in the instructor's arms, and as they walked by me, the daughter covered her face with his shoulder. They passed by me, touched the button for the elevator, and entered the elevator, doing all of this without saying a word to me.